Hey y'all, what's up? Welcome to today's video. For those of you who are new, this may be your first time coming across my channel, seeing my face, watching one of my videos, which means you are probably not yet subscribed. Welcome, my name is Tyler with an O, and for those of you who are already my people, already subscribed and are just returning for another video, welcome on back. My last video was a little bit heavy topic-wise, you know what I'm saying? It was a little bit more on a serious note, so I thought this time we would just do something fun, do some fun makeup, and do a fun story time. I have lived a life, okay? And I have a lot of stories that I've really never told anyone, and I'm just at a point now where I'm like, I don't know, it feels good to vocalize these things. It feels good to share my experiences, and a lot of these stories, although very serious at the time, perhaps, it's fun to kind of just look back at them and laugh. But yes, I'm gonna tell you how I sent this man to the hospital and how we both caught each other cheating. It was just, it's not my proudest moment. But anyways, let me go ahead and throw on some brows so we can get into the tea, honey.
Y'all, I have the most problems putting in eye drops. It is not even funny. Literally, I put it right next to it. Half of the bottle of eye drops gonna be gone on my face. Okay. Oh, got it. Okay.
Picture it. Las Vegas. Young Tyler with an O. I'd say probably age... Actually, I'm not gonna say the age, because like... we ain't gonna do all that, girl. We not gonna do all that. That gives too specific of a time, girl. And listen, learn something from this. If you're watching my channel, then you are definitely familiar with the dating app Jacked. For those of you who ain't, if this is your first time, hey girl, subscribe. On Jacked, whatever. Met this guy. He ended up being really cool. He was older than I. Let's say if I was 24. I believe he was maybe 34? I don't know, but it was an age difference. So let me just put that out there. It wasn't like a large age difference. Like he wasn't giving like granddaddy. No, it wasn't giving like that. Oh my God, we didn't do brow cam. Hello, can we get into the brows? Yes. Now this brow is always snatched. This brow, on the other hand, is my problem child. Like we say, brows are not twins. They are sisters. Sometimes they're cousins. Sometimes they're just next door neighbors. You know what I'm saying? But it's okay. Own it. So, girly. Well, let's fast forward. Me and him was talking or whatever. We ended up talking for like some months. I don't know how many months, but I know like we went through seasons with each other, because I was talking to him through a winter, and then we went to his hometown. That's where I met his mom and stuff, and at that time that was definitely like giving spring. It was warmer. So I don't know, we were talking for a while. I only say that to say that like this wasn't just like some hookup off of Jack. Like after we linked up and really met each other and started getting to know each other, it turned into like, you know, a really cool little situation, and we were like serious. Like he was long-term oriented, so was I, and that's kind of like why when it comes to the age thing, that's why I liked that situation. I would just say dating. I don't think we were ever like that was my boyfriend, but we were dating for months. I met his family, I've been to his job, you know, like it was just a very comfortable thing. I had a key to his house, you know what I'm saying? Like it was giving that. And it was really cool. Our relationship was like really awesome, whatever. So one day we were texting or whatever. I didn't really hear from him, and so we were like catching up. He was like, oh, how was your day, da da da. And then he told me like he kind of like passed out at work or whatever, and so he left work early to like go home and lay down, and he just like wasn't feeling good. And so I was like, you know, do you need anything when I come over? I'll, you know, do you want me to get groceries? Do you want food? And he was saying like, yeah, he didn't really have an appetite, but he was just like hot. Like he's like, I feel like I'm dehydrated or something, like I'm just so hot. And so I was just like, okay, you know, me thinking, I'm like, all right, well maybe when I get off, I'll bring you like some Gatorade and some popsicles. Since you can't really like eat anything, you don't have an appetite, I at least want you to have like I don't know. So I got him the fucking, you know, the big stick popsicles, the ones that are like super big, but they're like the pineapple, cherry pineapple flavor, fruit punch flavor, whatever the fuck. But they are so bomb. Honestly, top tier popsicle. If you say otherwise, you're wrong. I'm not even gonna argue with you. If you haven't had a big stick, girl, get you a big stick. And so we went to sleep or whatever. The next day, he was like, I'm gonna go to work. You know, I think I feel okay, whatever, whatever. I ended up texting him later in the day, and then he was like, I'm at the hospital. They want me to stay overnight. I was like, oh no, my man in the hospital. I gotta go. I gotta go. But you know, I was feeling cute. I was giving wifey material. I stayed the night at the hospital. I sure did. I sure did. I was like, I'm gonna be right by your side, sweetie, and I was. I like slid the 2 hospital chairs next to each other, and I had me a blanket and a little pillow, and I stayed the night there because I was scared. Like, it was a scary thing, and we didn't know what was going on. Anyways, the next day at the hospital, they bring in this guy. I don't know what his job was, but he was a specialist, and he had like a pamphlet or whatever, and so he was like, okay, so we figured out what the problem was or what happened. And basically, long story short, this is how we found. Now, because of me force feeding this man big stick popsicles, I ran his sugar up and we found out that he was diabetic. It's not funny, but also like, glad you found out, and glad you had somebody around when you found out type shit. Because what if that happened and you was home by yourself and you could have passed out, or I don't really know what happens when you go into diabetic shock. Is that what it's called, diabetic shock? Where your like blood sugar spikes or drops or low. I don't know, girl. But anyways, we found out he was diabetic, and so they were saying his sugar was so high. That's what happened, and that's why he was passing out and shit. They said his sugar was so high. They were like, if you didn't get to the hospital when you did, like, this could have been like really bad, and it was because of the popsicles. Anyways, so I sent the man sugar up. So I just felt really, really bad, whatever. This was obviously a shock to him because, you know, this is somebody, okay, so he's definitely in his 30s. Because somebody in your 30s, that would kind of be a blow to me too, to find out like, you're not a spring chicken no more. You got some stuff that you kind of need to be worried about when it comes to your health and everything like that. Like, I imagine I was like, really, he took it hard. Like, it was a devastating thing. He was very, very like sad about it, and understandably so. When it comes to stuff like that, I'm not the person who's gonna be all up in your face. I like to treat people how I like to be treated. That's just the rules I live by. I treat others how I would like to be treated. While I understand that other people have their different love languages and things like that, in a situation like this, or when it comes to like death or mourning or sad things, I feel like I just kind of want my moment. Like, whenever I'm going through something, whenever I'm, you know, sad or stressed out or feeling down or whatever, I'm not the type to like want to be around people and want to talk to people and want to have people in my face, and I don't want to burden people with my problems, whatever. Now, not to say if that is right or wrong, I'm just saying like that was basically my mindset with him experiencing this. I'm here if you need me. I would offer to come over and stuff, and he's just like, oh, you know, I don't know, I'm just really tired. I kind of just want to go to sleep, you know, or I'm studying for my thing, but I got to get up early, so I'm gonna just go to sleep. And I could tell it was because he was like sad, but I'm not gonna like force it. Like, it was very much okay, well, like, if you need me, I'm here type shit, and that was that. So all that to say, like, the communication was just kind of like started to decline over the next couple of weeks. And so I would bring it up, like I would text him all the time, but sometimes like I wouldn't even get a reply, or I don't know, if he did reply, it'd be like way later in the day, and this is from somebody we used to like talk all the time. I guess like when he told his family, you know, what had happened to him or whatever, I don't know, it just made him realize the importance of family and all this other stuff, so he was going back home just to like be with his family and shit. And so I was like, okay, understandable, well, when you get back, you know, I'm here, I can't wait to see you, miss you, you know, hope you're feeling good, still like, you know, what can I do? Like, this person is obviously attempting to separate themselves from me. So, rewind. The reason that I emphasized about me meeting him on Jacked or whatever is because that was a conversation that we had prior to this event. I asked him, like, I was like, you know, I'm ready to get off the apps, you know, like I feel like I found what I'm looking for. So like, would you agree? Like, should we delete Jacked? And this was major red flag. I asked him that and it turned into a thing. Like, he got very defensive and was just like, no, like I'm not deleting my Jacked. You know, I'm still new to the city and I use it for friends and to make friends and to like know events and stuff that are going on. I understand it, but there's other ways to network, and I'm not gonna sit here and agree that if me and you are now dating and we're exclusive, that Jacked is okay when it's, you know what, I'm not even gonna get into that. That was very gaslighty, you know what I'm saying? And I'm not gonna go down that road because you know why that's not okay. You know what I'm saying? Put it in the comments. Do you agree? Like, if you're dating somebody, if you guys are seriously dating, you guys should delete your Tinders. You know, delete your POF, delete your, I don't know, what apps do people use? I think it's mainly, Bumble, I know that's one. But you know what I'm saying? Like, you found what you were looking for. And then I was like, I'm down to delete mine. Like, you know, I don't use it to talk to anybody anyway. But he wasn't deleting his. And so I was like, well, if you're not deleting yours, I'm not deleting mine.
I've never contoured my nose this heavy before. Look at this. She's so skinty, I can barely breathe.
So yeah, long story short, the communication just started to like fall. You know, I was always reaching out, always getting left on red, or when he would, it was very much like, oh, I'm gonna call you back, I'm with my sister right now, da 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 da. And I was just like, all right, you know, it is what it is. I was like, okay, well, let me see if I don't reach out to him, let me see if he's gonna at least reach out to me and make any effort, or like, so I can get my answer. Like, I feel like I'm being strung along at this point. I understand you was going through what you was going through, but like, you know, like, what about me? Like, what are we gonna do here? Cause this is stupid. Oh my god, it's 4:44. Come a little closer so we can get into these ojos. So I had Jacked on my phone or whatever, and then I would see him on Jacked or whatever too. And so I was just like, okay, like, he talk about he don't, you know, got time, or he's not in that state of mind, or he needs this time to like be to himself and all that other shit. But it's like, nigga, you still on Jacked. Like, you're still on here like talking to people. So it can't be like, I don't know. I was just like taking the hint. But all that to say, I had Jacked too. People hit me up on there or whatever. I rarely entertain. I will be honest. Like, it's not in a stuck up way or whatever. But like, literally, I just really don't be interested in what people got to say. A lot of people are on there for a lot of reasons that differ from my own. And I'll just leave it at that. But I do have it in case something comes along, you know what I'm saying? I don't know. So this guy like hit me up and we were just like talking, and it was like, you know, on just some friendly shit. Like, he was just, I don't know, a cool person to talk to. We were just like chatting it up, small talking or whatever. I don't really know, but it wasn't like, you know, no long extensive time, but we were texting so frequently and everything. And so it kind of came up like, oh, you know, I really want to meet you. You seem cool, da 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 da. And it was an understanding of like, I was not looking for no relationship or nothing with this dude. Like, it was really on some like friend shit, because like we've just been having cool conversation for the past few days. TBH, I wasn't even all that like attracted to him. I was just in a weird space. And so I get there, whatever. I was asking for my little directions. He was like, I'll meet you downstairs. Like, I'll meet you downstairs so I can tell you where to park. So I was like, okay, whatever, you know. And so we did that. I met him outside, and I like that too, because it's just like, I'm not just about to show up, you know, somebody new, and I'm just gonna meet you by walking inside of your house. Like, girl, I don't know what you want. You can come outside so I can see you, you know, make sure you're not no catfish. At least we get that, you know, situated. And also it gives me the freedom to where like, maybe I meet him and he is a catfish, or I don't really like him or something, girl, I could just be like, all right, well, I'ma go, you know, from the safety of my car. I ain't even have to put myself in his environment. So, speaking of which, here go my Jack going over right now. Someone named, oh, it's not gonna focus, but the name is Horse Dick, and it says, what's good? But that's what I be talking about when I say like, I don't even like entertain. Cause like, first of all, I already know what you want by your name. You don't have a picture of your own, because the picture that you got is like a meme. So you don't got a face pic. I don't got the time. So anyways, long story short, I get there, I meet him outside, whatever. We was like chatting and stuff, and then he's like, you know, do you want to go inside, whatever. And I was like, yeah, that's cool. And so we get to the stairs to go up to his apartment. He was like, by the way, I don't think I got your name, which he did because it's on my profile, but I mean, I guess I didn't formally say, hi, my name is this. I just figured you read it on my profile. So anyways, like, what's your name? Because I got people over, so I want to be able to introduce you. And I was like, when you told me we was like, you know, gonna hang out and everything, I assumed that was just gonna be a me and you type of thing. Like, I don't even too much know you to now walk into a random person's house and they got people over. Like, that sounds like a setup, honey. I have seen that movie before, and girl, I don't want no parts. So I had like an attitude. Like, I was just like, are you serious? Like, you didn't tell me that you had people over. He was like, I didn't think that you were gonna come, and so I had invited one of my other friends over just to hang out or whatever, but like, he's cool, We were just gonna kick it anyway. And so I'm like, okay, well, that would kind of take the pressure off of me to like, if he thought that I was coming over for something else. Like, I literally was coming over to hang out, like to kick it. Like, we was big and back being boo, you know what I'm saying? So I gave him like, since he obviously didn't see my name on my profile, I gave him like another name to say. Because I was just like, I don't know who these people are. You know, I don't know what this give. I don't need, you know, I don't know. I was just being, I don't know, I had my guard up and I was just like, I gave him like a little short name to say or whatever. So we walk in the house. There's a dude in the kitchen and there's a dude on the sofa. The dude on the sofa was Mr. Diabetes himself sitting on this man's sofa. It was just a crazy wave of emotions that came over me at that time. I'm annoyed because it's just like, So meanwhile, you know, you telling me that you're sad and you're doing all this family time shit and you just want to be by yourself right now and all this other stuff. And you obviously met this dude off jacked. Because he just told me that he invited somebody over like to kick it. And that was you. One thought that I still have in the back of my mind is like, what was the conversation before I got there? Like, when he told him like, oh, I have somebody coming over, was this given like, did y'all think that we were, like, were you online while you were dodging me? Were you like trying to have like a threesome or something with this dude? So I was pissed, but also I'm up here mad at you for still being on Jacked and meeting somebody from Jacked, but I literally just met this dude from Jacked. You know what I'm saying? And it was especially embarrassing because when we walked in, he said, oh, this is my friend, and gave him the fake name. And because I'm dating this dude, he knows my real name. So he was like the name was just like, oh. So he knew what it was. Well, it appeared that I came to like hook up with this dude and whatever. My stomach just like dropped to my pants. But let's play it cool. Like, I'm not gonna like leave and act like I'm like busted or whatever. So immediately, like, my first question, I was just like, oh, hey. And I went and sat on the couch next to him and I was just like, where have you been? Because I was pissed. Like, I've been texting you. I've been concerned. I've been calling you and you haven't replied. But like, here you are. So like, what the fuck is up? That's where I was coming from. Granted, I wasn't like making a scene in this dude's house. Like, it wasn't aggressive, but I was like concerned. Like, I was like, where have you been? Like, how have you been? And so homeboy was just like, oh, y'all know each other? And I was just like, yeah, we've met. And then he was like, I've been good. How you been? And I was like, I've been good. Concerned. It was just awkward. Like, it was just this awkward silence because my dude wasn't saying nothing. But I'm not gonna lie, I kind of was like scared because I felt like, because I knew I was also in the wrong for being there if I was considering myself talking to this dude still. Which obviously I wasn't, so I shouldn't feel wrong because, I mean, I should, because if I was going to do that, then well, how could I end things? He wasn't even picking up the phone. So you see, this is why I want to make these videos, because I don't ever talk about this stuff. And so, I don't know, I never really vocalized these things. So this is my first time really like thinking about it in this way. So it's just kind of awkward for a few minutes or whatever. My dude gets up and he was like, all right, well, you know, I'll see y'all later. I'm gonna start heading home. And so that put me in an awkward situation because I was just like should I leave too? Like, is this like, oh, now we're gonna talk? Like, should I go so we can talk about this? Or you were just gonna like leave? Like, leave me there? You didn't care that I was there? Like, I don't know. It was just so confusing. It was such a confusing position to be in. And so I was like, all right, bye. And I gave him a hug, and he gave me a hug, and then he left. And then I sat down, and then the guy was just, it's like, what was that about? Like, you know, because he caught tea. He was just like, so how do y'all know each other? Whatever, whatever. And so I kind of explained the situation to him. Like, you know, that was somebody I used to talk to, I guess. I haven't heard from him for a while, so whatever. And I wanted to know, like, well, what was y'all about to do? You know, like, how do you know him? When did you meet him? And he was like, no, I just met him today for the first time, too. Like, I met him off of Jacked. And I was like, oh, I knew it. I fucking knew it. Was it on some like sexual stuff? Like, was he trying to like, was it a hookup or whatever? And then he was like, I mean, I was open to it, you know, whatever, wherever it was gonna go, but he was just trying to have some fun with some people or whatever. Although I don't appreciate him trying to like set up, you know, anything could happen type of night without my consent. Like, you don't just invite somebody over and then like, you were low-key banking on the fact that we was all gonna want to do something. Like, I don't like that. But niggas do weird shit like that. That's weird. He was like, well, that was like my first time really talking to him or whatever, so it's not like we're like friends or anything. And so he was like implying like, oh, well, like, you know, I won't tell him if something happens between us type shit. And I was just like, girl, that's out the window. Even if it was a thought, it is not anymore. So after that, I was just kind of like, I felt really guilty. And so I was afraid to like text him. So I was like, well, I'm just gonna wait for him to text me. Because before I saw him just here, he was not replying to me. He was not talking to me anyway. So why do I feel like now just because I seen him here, we're talking again, or like he's gonna text me back? So I just kind of like was waiting. Like I was like, I'm gonna wait for him to text me. Like this is gonna be a very, very awkward conversation. The end. Literally, that was the last time I talked to him. And I just didn't know, like, I didn't know how to feel about that. It was just a very, very awkward situation. I kind of took it as like, you know, he caught me red-handed. I was, you know, talking to a guy and, you know, stupid me. I went over there and he caught me in the act type shit. Like, that's just kind of how I felt about it. And so for that reason, when I didn't hear from him after that, I kind of was like, well, you know, I guess it's over. And it was, like, that was the last time I heard from him. There was no, like, he never reached back out to talk about anything. I feel like it's one of those moments where, you ever been in a situation where you don't want to be in it anymore? So you're kind of looking for, like, the first exit. You know what I'm saying? Like, you're waiting for them to, like, fuck up or to do something so you can have that argument that you can finally say whatever. And I'm not saying it's good or bad, but I'm just saying, like, people do that. I mean, that's a big reason why people cheat. A lot of people don't want to be in the relationships, but they don't have the heart to end it. So they think that they could, like, have both. Boom! Face. You see how I just jumped to the beat? Girl, you cannot tell me I am not beat to the back fucking door, girl. Get into this. Get into it. Period.
Ooh, child. I am looking so sickening. Oh, matches the nails. Yeah. Look at this lid. This is something new. Doing burgundy to nude instead of just like brown. It's giving fall.
But yeah, that's really how the cookie crumbled on that. That was literally the last day that I talked to him. You know, it's just one of those things. Like, everything was coming to an end. It was going to come to an end either way. I think the moral of the story really is just communicate. Like, it was obvious he did not want to be with me anymore. That whole hospital experience and all of that, maybe, yeah, I'm sure that was a tough, you know, pill to swallow and everything like that. But at the end of the day, like, I feel like he just used that as his exit strategy. I don't know. I was really kind of upset about it because it's like, here I was spending the night at the hospital with you. You didn't have nobody else to call and everything. And I met your family and like, we're doing all of this. And then you just like ghost me essentially. So I don't know, you let me know. Who in the wrong? Who in the wrong, me or him? Give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it. Comment down below. Do you like story times like this? Like, should I continue spilling my tea and telling my business? Or what is it giving? Do y'all just want to do tutorials? Y'all want vlogs? Y'all want, you know, let me know. Communicate. And most importantly, make sure you are subscribed to the channel so you don't miss out on any more of this Tyler with the No goodness. And I will catch you all on my next video. Peace.